New tag champs.
Tons of matches made for WrestleMania.
And has Gunther aligned himself with Paul Heyman? Hello, welcome to WrestleMSX, the best wrestling channel you've never heard of. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
We open with Cody Rhodes, and after asking the crowd what they want to talk about, he's interrupted by Stephanie McMahon. She tells him he can bring the best out of his opponents, but not this version of Randy Orton. Dusty Rhodes could roll with the best of them, but you are not your father. This version of Cody Rhodes can't beat this version of Randy Orton. Rhodes responds saying he knows Orton, then hits her with the old, I'm not my father, but you're not yours either. Steph then slaps Rhodes and tells him she's out here because she cares about him, and he needs to understand that Orton's not just listening to the voices, but he loves what they're telling him, and that it appears he's listening to someone else's will. So unless he can think like Randy, then he's going to lose the title, and WrestleMania will be the last Cody Rhodes will be introduced as WWE Champion. Steph goes to head off, but Rhodes spins her around and plants her with a kiss. No, but it did look like he was about to. He spun her around and he told her he had 2 words for her. No, not that. She's married. Rhodes said thank you and then left the ring. We also saw a new graphic, well it's new to me because I've not seen it before, for their fight, Orton's and Rhodes, at WrestleMania. And for the others as well, I think Lesnar and Oba Femi throughout the night. And it was like a Mad Max style train, if you're aware of that film, running through the wilds of America. Why all of a sudden are we doing this? We're in Vegas.
The desert?
Neon lights.
The desert?
Yeah, but that's not...
No.
It doesn't fit with where it is. Very weird. But let's move on.
Backstage, IYO Reed was asking Adam Pearce where he was when Danhausen appeared. Reed then asked Danhausen to uncurse him, with Danhausen saying he'd do it for a price. Seed declined, with Pearce then telling him he had ringside seats for him for the next match, and then introduced the special guest commentator for the next match too. LA Knight.
I wonder how this is going to finish.
In the background, you could see Kofi Kingston still trying to sweet talk Javon Evans.
So, first up, the Usos with new music, I think, facing the Vision in a street fight match for the World Tag Team Championships. We begin with kendo sticks, then upgrade to trash cans with the Vision fully in control. The Usos managed to turn it around by putting the bins on Theory and Paul, and then suplex Theory through a table.
Things, of course, then break down as Paul goes over to his mum, who's in the crowd, and asks her for his brass knuckles. I Drink Mead is next to her. Anyway, Mummy Paul hands him the knuckles, which in turn brings over LA Knight.
Of course it does.
Knight then lays the smackdown on Paul, with I'm not up to speed then being dragged over the barrier. Knight and Paul fight off, with Knight then coming back to check on I Grow Seed. He hits Knight, thinking it's Paul, and then realises what he's done. He drops the knucks and then heads up the rampway.
Paul locates the knuckles and tries to use them on Jimmy, but Jimmy ducks, with he and his brother then twin super kicking Paul out the ring. Theory then suffers twin kicks and a spear by Jay, with Jay then heading up top for a splash. While he does this, Jimmy looks to dive out at Paul, but Paul catches him with the knuckles, which sends Jim tumbling back into the ring and down to the mat.
Jay sees this and decides to jump out at Paul, with Theory still down on the mat, then draping an arm over Big Jim. The referee then counts the 1, 2, 3, and the Vision become new World Tag Team Champions. After the match, Paul and Theory celebrate on the rampway with I Like Trees.
New Vision member incoming. After a reminder of Punk and Roman's shenanigans over the past few weeks, Liv Morgan makes her way out. She says, and I quote, "You're done for, pitch," obviously speaking about Vaquer. I can't believe she attacked Daddy Dom. She then claims Vaquer's scared to face her one-on-one, and that her mother taught her to never let anyone get the better of her, because her mother, well, I don't know what she said, because Morgan called Vaquer's mother in Spanish. A lot of mothers tonight.
Seems to be. Yeah.
Is it Mothering Sunday in the States? I don't know. If you know, let us know. Anyway, Morgan says she's waiting for Vaquer, which naturally draws her out.
The pair go at it, with Black Widow getting the better of Morgan. Vaquer heads out for a chair, but upon returning to the ring, gets attacked by a returning Roxanne Perez. The pair then round on Vaquer, with Morgan hitting Oblivion on Vaquer onto a chair.
Backstage, Paul Heyman tells the new tag champs to take I Smoke Nope out for dinner. When Adam Pearce appears, Pearce asks Heyman if he's checked his email, with Heyman in a roundabout way saying no.
Next up, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Irresistible Forces for the tag team titles. Jax picks up 2 after a Samoan drop to Lyra, who then manages to reverse a suplex from Lash into a DDT and tag in Bayley. Bayley also suffers, with Jax looking for a turnbuckle move. Only Bayley manages to powerbomb Jax and then tag in Valkyria, who lands a moonsault and covers for 2.
A mass brawl then ensues, with everyone laid out. The Bellas then head out, swiftly followed by Bliss and Flair. Lyra confronts the 4, with Jax then throwing her into Bliss and Flair, and Legend deals with the Bellas. Jax and Valkyria carry on in the ring, with Flair then taking out Jax. The ref then calls for the bell, with all 8 women then brawling inside the ring. It ends with the Forces on the outside and the other 6 arguing. 4-way tag match at Mania. Anyone?
Brock Lesnar heads out next with, of course, his mouthpiece, Paul Heyman. To cut a long story short, Oba caught Lesnar off guard, but tonight he's ready to fight. Brock then grabs the mic and calls out Femi, but instead gets Adam Pearce. Pearce says it won't be happening and then asks the pair to leave the ring. The lights then drop and out comes the ruler.
The security that came out with Pearce rush Oba, but he takes them out with ease, with Pearce then having a word. Femi pushes Pearce away and then circles the ring before getting in. The pair look like they're about to throw down, but Triple H gets in between them and manages to keep the behemoths apart. Lesnar leaves the ring, F5's the security fella, and then heads up the rampway. Why the security needed to rush Oba on the rampway anyway, I don't know.
Why could they do anything?
Why could they not just? Well, yeah, but why couldn't you just walk up to him and like, "Come on, big fella, let's come not tonight"? But they just ran at him. What do you think? And then to push Adam Pearce like that,
oh, I know.
Surely that's a suspension. If that was Orton,
he's not employed.
If that was they by anyone, yeah, this is free agent.
Free agent, he can do what he wants.
He's the ruler, so he can do what he likes. But that's of course Triple H had to get involved.
Yeah,
it's triple threat at Mania. He's going to win. The title will be on the line as well by the end of this.
We have a vignette from Finn Balor next, saying he made bad decisions and that he made Dom. He takes it upon himself to now destroy him at WrestleMania.
This Mania card is filling up, and there's more to come. Penta heads out next to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Kofi Kingston, Grayson Waller, of course, alongside. The fight ends up outside, with Waller suffers a Mexican destroyer, with Penta then throwing Kingston back into the ring. Penta looks for a top rope move, but while in midair, he gets caught by Trouble in Paradise, which only nets Kofi 2. Moments later, a Mexican destroyer finishes off Kofi, and he then covers Penta for the victory. After the match, Jackie Redmond asks him for a few words, with Penta saying at WrestleMania the Intercontinental title will be on the line in a ladder match.
Backstage, Adam Pearce asks Paul Heyman if he's seen the email yet, with Heyman again saying nope, before heading to the ring, with us then hitting an ad break. During the break, we hear from Dominic Mysterio, who blames Balor for losing his Intercontinental title, and then accepts the WrestleMania match proposed by Balor earlier.
We come back to Heyman in the ring, moaning about Adam Pearce when we hear Adam Pearce tell him to put a sock in it. He again asks him if he checked his email, with Heyman saying, "There's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know." Pearce says, "Oh, okay, then you know that Boston Police Department have dropped all the charges against Seth." Heyman says he knows he doesn't, then goes on about how he's the last promoter standing from the 1990s. I don't know why he's saying this. I think it was just to get the ECW chant going.
Yeah, probably.
But there was no reason for him to say this. No. Pearce then informs him that as of right now, Seth Rollins is medically cleared to compete.
Ooh.
The Visionary then heads out from behind Heyman and clocks him with a chair. Seth then sets Heyman on the chair and readies to stomp him, but then gets pulled from the ring by Gunther. Gunther then puts Seth to sleep and points to the WrestleMania sign. Oh, I mean, yeah, these are two big players and you do want them at Mania,
Yeah.
but this is
Should ram
absolutely
that match in.
This is ridiculous. This is getting like the McMahon era of just having anybody against anyone and having I know it's over 2 nights. I know you've got about 3.5 to 4 hours to fill, but this is getting ridiculous now.
Yeah.
They could have built this after Mania.
Yeah, easily. So the last match of the night and main event of the evening. Raquel Rodriguez versus IYO SKY. After a good showing from the pair, the Kabuki Warriors head out, which distracts Sky. Sane ends up taking a big boot from Raquel Rodriguez, with Sky then landing a bullet train to Raquel after a DDT. Sky then sees Asuka bullying Sane, so dives out of the ring at her, nearly breaking her neck.
Ridiculous.
Sky then gets back in the ring, right into the awaiting Raquel Rodriguez. One Tahana bomb later, and it's all over as Big Mommy Cool picks up the victory.
I don't know why they didn't open with this.
Yeah.
You're not hanging around for this match.
No.
You want to see the Usos, because we were discussing this, you want to see the Usos in the street fight. That should have been the last match. Or if you want it to be the first one, to get people in, hook it people in, fine, but then have the women's tag match last.
Yeah.
Who's hanging around to watch this? Anyway, we then see the participants for the Intercontinental Ladder Match at WrestleMania. Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rusev, JD McDonough, and of course Penta, as well as Balor versus Dom being made official. We also have, as predicted earlier and about 4 weeks ago by me, a fatal 4-way for the women's tag team titles between the Forces, the Bellas, Valkyria, and Bliss and Flair. We also learn, if you weren't aware, that John Cena will host WrestleMania. I'm sure he's using hair dye.
Oh, yeah, me too.
What?
Back from the break, Jackie Redmond asks Adam Pearce how Seth is, with Pearce confirming that Seth will face Gunther at WrestleMania.
See, that's what I mean. It's just getting silly now.
It's getting silly.
Isn't it? Oh, let's just book another match. Let's book another match. Let's book another match. Back to, is Vince here pulling the strings? Maybe he is. Oh, Hulk. That's what our thumbnail's going to be.
Yeah,
Vince pulling the strings for Mania. Oh, that will get to at least 3 views. Anyway, so to the last section of the night, and with 10 minutes left, we have Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Now, surely there's nothing left to say. And by the time the entrances are finished, there's only going to be moments left. So this has to go to a fight from the off.
Yeah.
6 minutes left, because that's how long Reigns took to get in, and he still hasn't spoken. But then, after the usual acknowledge me speech, Punk's music hits.
He walks down the rampway, removes the title from his waist, gets in the ring, and just as predicted, the two brawl from the off.
Because we ain't got much time for talking.
The fight heads to the outside, where Adam Pearce and Backstagers try to separate the pair. But Punk manages to GTS Reigns and then powerbomb him through the announcer's desk. Raw goes off the air with Punk saluting the crowd.
As we already said, many matches made for Mania.
Yes.
I mean, I know you need to have Gunther in there. I know you need to have Seth in there. I mean, that's going to be a tricky one.
Them against each other, I was not suspecting that at all.
How are you going to get a bit? I mean, this blows the Tom Brady thing out of the water that I suggested.
Yeah, maybe Brady's busy, that's why I've changed
probably. I mean, Gunther, I suppose, is a pretty safe pair of hands. And I think you'll be able to nurse Seth through. He might be medically cleared, but it doesn't mean that you're match fit.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
No, that's fair.
So
is he working with Heyman? Is he doing it because of that, or is he just...
I'm just saying
saying
that to get the hook in.
Really
I mean,
Seth.
he might be, because I think Brock's probably... After Mania, Brock will disappear. The Vision are absolutely decimated.
Yeah.
Even though Heyman does still appear with them.
Yeah.
So maybe Gunther's his new guy. Couple of heels. I mean, Gunther doesn't need a mouthpiece, he's alright. But
Yeah.
I mean, have we got LA Knight in anything yet? Yes. It'll be... I know Reed and the tag champs against the Usos in LA Knight.
You reckon?
No.
What, Mania?
Well, why not? We've got, Dom and Balor.
Yeah.
That could have been a
They're
standard Monday
feuding.
Night Raw one. Yeah, it'll be that. Because they've just lost the titles,
Yeah.
so they want them back. Well, they might not be on the line, but that'll be a
Yeah.
six-man tag. Anyway, forget about that. It's now time for my moment of the night. This could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, quirky, different, just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end, because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
So, Michael's moment of the night is Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. It was just, yes, we need to see this.
Yes, we do need to see
I don't
this.
think it'll be a long match.
No.
I think Lesnar will
Brock
get
can't go... Brock can't go long.
No, he'll get a few suplexes in, probably
Mm-hmm.
more than a few. Whether it'll go to the outside, I don't know. How many fall from graces Brock will take? I mean, it's Mania, so it's got to be at least 2. Even though Femi put him down with 1 a couple of weeks ago.
He did.
It's Mania, so it's got to be at least 2.
Yeah, yeah.
I am expecting
'Cause he's
Oba
ready
to-
now.
I'm expecting him
He's
to
ready.
win. He's got to.
Oba's got to win.
He's got to win. You can't, because you can't put new talent. Well, it depends.
Yeah. Brock's got to put him over. With
You'd have
how
thought
he's been going.
over the ropes.
Yeah.
You'd have thought so. But yeah, it was just like it got you excited.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, we know it's coming, but this is what I want. Not Seth against Gunther for absolutely no reason.
Just hates him. Now, if you wish to agree or disagree, or if you have any thoughts or views that you'd like to share with us, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section just down below. Don't forget to go and check out our Muses videos with thoughts and opinions on the last week of WWE, because a new one drops
In a few minutes.
every Wednesday.
As always, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE, and then Saturday when we take a look at SmackDown.